Hello, everyone. My name's Todd Moore,
I'm Tyler Moore.
and this is the More is Less podcast show, where you get more news in less time. We really appreciate you guys watching today. Today's episode is sponsored by Jimmy John's, where you get the toilet for everyone, and you get it all from Jimmy's John's.
I thought you said Jimmy John's.
Can't say that. That would be a violation and a copyright. But Jimmy John's has toilets for sale, and his name's Jimmy, so Jimmy sells John's. It's the way it goes. And if your name is John, you get a 10% discount and a $100 gift card to Amazon. But only if you act now. Call 1-888 I don't give a fuck. Thank you. All right, let's get to it. We're having fun?
Sure.
Thursday night. It's May 14th. It's Corona time still. Everyone's still inside.
I heard that.
Stay at home. But we got some good news tonight. We're going to start off with some news. Then we're going to do some tech, a little bit of tech and science. Then we're going to go to Tyler for the sports and gaming. I may have something for gaming and sports. And then we'll end it up in the show. We're going to try to go real quick tonight. Goddamn bugs are in here. We're going to try to go quick tonight. Get this done because it's late and we fell behind. So let's get this show rolling. First of all, let's talk about the Dow Jones Industrial Average. That's the first thing we talk about.
Yep.
Today it's up 377 points, which ain't bad, but it's down for the week with moderate gains. The moderate gains, and this is in spite of the doom and gloom that's been going on and on and on. And also, we've added another 3 million or so unemployment to it. So we're up to like
6 million?
Something like that, I thought.
I saw something that said 6 million.
Yeah. But anyway, with all the negative information, it's nice to see that there's still positivity in the stock market. And that's a good thing. We have the doors open, and we may have to close them if all the little tiny fucking gnat bugs come in.
I thought they can't get through.
Well, if they're small enough than the screen, they can, that's for sure. So, yeah, as I was saying, most folks are staying at home, but we're all getting antsy and we're ready to go do shit. I'm still working. I got to go out and work at my job. My wife's working at home. The boys, they were doing online classes. They're not now.
Done with my spring. I'm about to start fall. Not fall. About to start summer. Tomorrow. Well, I have a meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, he registers tomorrow for summer and fall.
Mom wakes me up.
I'll be here as well. We're all going to be here. So yeah, I mean, everyone's going crazy. In fact, Wisconsin now, the Republicans in the state of Wisconsin sued the sued the governor and the health
World Health
Services Secretary. Her name's Andrea Palm. She's the Wisconsin Department of Health Services Secretary. Other health officials, and the Supreme Court ruled in favor that it was unconstitutional for them to force folks to stay at home. So last night they were opened up, businesses could open up and everything. So we'll see how that ended up going. It was a 4-3 ruling, and the state Supreme Court found that emergency orders issued by Secretary Palm as unlawful, invalid, and unenforceable, which is very true. The result of this decision is businesses can open immediately. So you got to follow the WEDC, which is the Wisconsin guidelines. You can find at the whatever website. So that was a Twitter from the Tavern League of Wisconsin. So the bars are excited to get open, and I don't blame them. Be safe, though. Don't be fucking stupid. Don't pack the whole fucking place up. You know, get reservations. Fill it only halfway. People, if they get pissed, it's their own fucking fault. You only have so many people in. That's for now. That's it. Although, we're going to have a second wave because we haven't been exposed to it because we've been in a bubble. And whereas Sweden, they actually, yes, they do have higher numbers right now, But when we flip around to the next wave, they're not going to get it because they've already got the immunity built up. So it'll be an interesting experiment to see what happens between the rest of the Western world and Sweden. Sweden, because I was listening to an interview on the Adam Carolla show of a doctor that works over there in Sweden, lives in Sweden, Swedish doctor. And he says the way their policy is being run is by the actual health professionals and not politicians. And the health professionals say that it's better to have that herd immunity and get it taken care of because the unintended consequences of forcing everyone to stay at home outweighs. And I know that sounds terrible, but it outweighs the deaths, and that's because a lot of those deaths are going to happen, and then some other deaths are going to happen because of the services not going to be able to be offered because there's no money now because of all the economic strife. And the other issue that they said was that a lot of the elderly figured they weren't going to live very long anyway, and they'd rather spend their time with their family and not bottled up, cooped up in a nursing home where they can't see them and be with them. So you add those two things together, and it kind of does make sense to some degree. I mean, if you're elderly, I got a mom who's got underlying conditions, and I worry about her, but she needs to take those precautions. Don't go to places like that. Put your mask on. Put your gloves on. Do those things to help yourself. When you get home, take a shower. Clean your shit off. Wash your hands a lot. But because she needs to, because she's in that demographic, that's going to be a problem. But for us, we will get sick. And I'm not saying we don't take precautions, but to go over to the point where our economic fallout is happening, the Fed is telling us today that we're in a recession. And if that's the case, it's going to be hard to get out. The U of I president said today, I'm sorry, this isn't even actually on the list, but I'm going to go talk about it, that we probably won't have football in the stadiums this fall.
No football games? Because
it holds 60,000 people, and he doesn't want to have the problem of having the COVID come back and affect everyone.
So there's going to be no one in the stadium?
He's not sure how that's going to go.
If there's football games, then that's good. Because that's also something important to Illinois, too. It's football.
We need to have school back, guys. We need to have jobs back. We need to do it smartly, as adults, not be stupid. And there's that fucking restaurant in Colorado was fucking dumb.
Oh, what happened? I heard
they opened up illegally, which, okay, you're defying the rules. I get that. But then, after they opened up illegally, they let the place get packed like fucking shoulder to shoulder.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, what do you think's going to happen? They're going to come and close you down. You're dumb. Like I said, the Beef House is open. They're in Indiana.
They are?
Yeah.
Finally.
They're open, and they're smart about it. Reservations only. Half capacity, so they can spread them out. No salad bar or anything like that, where you have contact. And everything's good because they're being adults about it and taking care of it. All right, I'm going to get off my high horse, I know.
I have one more thing about the world.
Go for it.
So I heard.
Go for it.
Heard last night the World Health Organization. They say that this virus will not go away. It will stay in us forever.
Yeah, of course. There is no way we're going to be able to kill it completely. There's no way. So
I still think this is man-made.
Well, I don't know if it's man or not, but there's a lot of crazies out there, so it wouldn't surprise me. And speaking of crazies, Michigan had to close down the Capitol because the governor was getting Governor Whitmer was getting death threats.
I heard, yeah, not surprising.
It's one thing to go against the government, and it's another thing to petition and all that, but to fucking threaten people's lives, that's too far, in my opinion. They got to close down the Capitol building, which means now people that need to use the services that are in that or whatever, they can't because of some assholes. fucking being stupid. People need to fucking relax. Both sides. Fucking relax, okay? Jesus Christ. Am I right? No?
Well,
You ready to move out of fucking news and move on to something actually positive instead of all this bullshit?
sure.
Let's do that. Guess what? There's a massive leak of a Galaxy Note 20.
They're still working on that. I thought they were stopped because of coronavirus.
Well, they're still working on it, but it's going to be limited. It's going to have 16 gig of RAM. It's going to have larger displays than the other Note. It's going to have 120 megahertz refresh rates. And if you look at pictures of it, it looks pretty nice. Basically, it looks like all screen. I swear to God, don't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. I don't know. The back camera doesn't look quite up to par as maybe the S20 Ultra. Or was it the Ultra? What do they call it? S20
I don't know.
back plus Ultra, whatever it was.
I have a Moto.
But anyway, he's got a Moto. You like your Moto, right?
Yeah.
You got that Moto G power, right?
Yeah, 4 days of power without charging.
And he ain't joking about that. We bought, and it was what, $200 out the fucking door. That's been the best phone of the entire family right there, to be honest with you. It goes to prove, a lot of people give Motorola shit. It goes to prove they can make a good quality phone that doesn't cost too much money. And they just come out with a new phone, new Moto G Power.
Wait, I want to go on to the next one about Elon Musk.
Go ahead. Let's hear
Did
it.
he just call his company Boring Company?
Yeah, because he bores out
I thought
tunnels.
it was like
and,
boring.
and he is boring.
He's
And
not
he
that
is boring. No, it's about boring through the ground. That kind of
Oh.
boring. You want to go give the story? Do the story?
No, I just read it and like, what the hell? Why
The-
do we call this company boring?
Yeah, we got show notes. I try to provide some show notes so we have some kind of actual direction and flow. Otherwise, we'd be all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
So yeah, Elon Musk's Boring Company digs the Elon Musk's Boring Company finishes digging the Las Vegas tunnels, and so it goes. Convention and Visitors Authority is still planning to open it in 2021 of next year, and basically it's going to take various Disney various.
Cars?
What are those cars? God damn it.
Tesla.
Teslas, thank you. Various Teslas vehicles, and you're going to get in them, and it's going to take you there. What would take them 15 minutes to get across town is going to take 2, which is pretty cool. They can do 4,000 people an hour with these tunnels.
4,000
And they want to get it ready for the CES if it actually happens
CES.
this next year in Vegas, because it's so busy. That
CES.
Consumer Electronics Show.
Oh.
It's where all of the cool gadgets, the phones and the shit. Sometimes it used to be gaming and everything, but everything kind of splits off in their own thing. But that's gonna be. When we go back to Vegas, because we are fucking going back. I know Mom wants to go to Disney, but we'll go anyway because
Be careful. You may be watching this.
love you, but still, you know what she'll say. If you don't have to go if you don't want.
There's nothing. We've been there like I don't know how many.
Maybe we can talk her into going back, because now we got the Elon Musk. We can get in that fucking tunnel. That'd be cool.
Sure.
Goes fast. Not real fast.
Oh, not that fast.
Oh, you wussy.
Oh, I don't like roller coasters.
I'm with you. I don't either. First, I don't like them because I don't trust the motherfuckers that have worked on them that they're safe. Oh, on a side note, I guess that doesn't have nothing to do with tech. For all you local people, if you didn't read, there's more than corn in Indiana again. Indiana Beach was bought by a Chicago guy with a family.
In Chicago?
Yes, because he used to go there and he loves the place, like we all did.
So it's not going?
It's not going. He's going to reopen it. Right now, he's He's putting some TLC in it. He's painting everything and bringing it back up to standards, because the other company let it fall down. And see, it's the problem with these kind of parks. They can be profitable, but you got to keep up with them. If you're not going to put money into them, people go there and they go, well, fuck, this is shitty. Look at this.
I hope it comes. I hope Beach comes back.
It needs to.
It's like a water park.
And it's such an economic boom for Monticello, Indiana. It's crazy. And it's, there's shows and events that go on there as well. So, it's important to have that, I mean, there's bands that come to the restaurant and they play and shit. All that's was gone. So God bless the guy from Chicago that bought it. We'll be going back up once he gets it open. And I suggest you all do that as well, because it's definitely worth going to. Do they have the biggest rides? No.
Not really, but a lot of them are interesting.
But what's cool about them, though, is even when it's packed, it ain't bad. You go to fucking Disney and some of these others, and Disney has, by far, if you want to see the best fireworks in America anyway, Walt Disney does them. No question.
Hey,
go down to Orlando.
I just realized something just popped in my head in global news.
Uh-oh. We're bouncing back to global news. Take it, Tyler.
Is it California open right now? Because I've been seeing a lot of shows going on like around this time right now.
They're not open.
Well, I'm seeing shows.
Not that I know of. Like what kind of shows?
Like what was it, TLC?
TLC's a channel.
I think TLC. There was a new show that's on there. I can't remember what it's called, but there's something on there that's like coming out. It came out like today. I think it was today or a couple days ago.
Well, they can do shows as long as there's not a lot of people. They can figure it out.
Oh, I thought California was open.
Nope. No. Governor Gavin Newsom's closed that shit down. It's amazing I remember that fucking name, eh? Okay, now this, guys, is important. This is actually really important, and we're going to apply this to every fucking computer we have. We haven't done it to Tyler's yet, but we're going to do that as soon as I'm done. We're done with this podcast. And I recommend you all do the same. Chrome, if you use a Chrome browser, I recommend you do the same. I'll post a link to the Ars Technica column that explains how to do this, but you should do it. But Chrome's going to soon block resource draining ads. So when you have tabs open and the fan's running real hard, it's because those ads in the back are draining all your resources. They're running.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So they talk about the difference between, look at the non-heavy versus heavy ads. It's crazy. Up to 75% increase, in or decrease, I guess, in consumption of power and shit. So, but you can turn it on by using a special command, and I've turned it on already on my Linux, on my Windows, one of my Windows box. I'll be turning on this one. I'm going to have him do that, and I'll post it. It's basically you do Chrome : // flags # enable -heavy -add -intervention. And if you do that, it'll pull up a window, and the window will allow you, and now it's going to allow you to enable it, but you have to also realize that right now it's in developer mode because they haven't actually added it. So it may be a little buggy, but still, in the long run, I think it's worth doing. So what it'll do is it'll pull up a page, and at the very top it'll say heavy add intervention. And right now it says default. You want to enable that motherfucker. Boom, enable it. And then when you do that, you're going to have to relaunch. But that's okay, because once you relaunch, it's going to bring open all those tabs and everything you had open. You're not going to lose anything. So you hit relaunch, it closes, and then it comes back up, and it'll bring up those same ads or the same tabs. Boom. You're back where you were. And that's going to help if you got a fan running real hard all the time, and if you're a tab hog some bitch, and you don't want to use the group tabs in Chrome, which I recommend you do, but he don't want to use them. Anyway, this will help when you have those tabs open. Should help. And I mean, I've been really impressed with Tyler's computer tonight. I haven't heard the fan usually just kicks on and runs like a motherfucker.
Yeah, last night I heard it.
And it's not doing too bad tonight. It's either broke, and and we'll find out because it'll shut itself down. Doubtful though. It's probably just not running those ads, which is cool. Okay, what else we got? Do that, and I'll post that tomorrow when I get it done. I'll get it posted, and we'll move on. I think for me that's it for tech and science news. We're gonna do some gaming news, and we'll send it to Tyler.
Okay, so we're on to gaming news, and something really, a lot of cool things happened this week. Apparently there's some summer game conferences happening right now. I can't remember who's on the list, but this is a rumor, but apparently Activision, who also does the Call of Duty is supposed to have something that comes out today or tomorrow. I'm not sure, but it's supposed to be the new 2020 Call of Duty, which is Treyarch's term.
You think it's gonna be any good?
Well, I think it's gonna be a reboot to the franchise because they lost like a lot of people, and right now some of the people who work at Treyarch, their Twitters are all blacked out. So something must be happening over there.
They don't want people to spill the beans, leak anything out, so they close their Twitters out.
Don't know. They done this before, but I don't know what else happens. Okay, so off of the Call of Duty right now, that there's this that summer thing. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 are getting remastered for the new consoles.
That'll be good.
Not for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox. For the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and PCs.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what else there are, but graphics-wise, it's pretty good.
It won't be long, we'll be calling them previous generation.
Yeah.
Right now they're the bitch, but what is this? We're in May?
May.
So within 5 to 7, 8 months, they're saying maybe October is when they're going to... Although there are some people saying that next month in June that they will have an event, they being Sony, and you will be able to pre-order.
Sony's doing something pretty big in June. I don't know what's happening, but something massive is happening.
They're gonna unveil it, and then they're gonna open pre-orders. But then a lot of people are saying pre-orders don't mean shit because the retailers they're so limited, and there aren't very many because the COVID virus bullshit. They wasn't able to make enough because of supply problems of material and parts that retailers have first dibs, obviously. We got more bugs?
No.
What are you looking at?
I was looking at that wax thing.
That's a fly trap. Sticky.
I don't know.
Smoke another one. No? You good?
Yeah.
It's all good. He does that he just kind of, when I'm talking. Spaces.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about now. You got me all sidetracked. What was I talking about?
We were talking about the PlayStation 5.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm done with that. Okay, you want to talk about the DualSense controller or me?
You can talk about that.
Speaking about the PlayStation 5, and this is kind of one of the nice reasons why it's good to start our video podcast on Thursday, because there's a lot of news that comes out before then. If we started on Monday, we'd miss most of the news during the week, unfortunately. I hate to say that, but it's true.
Yeah.
So it's better to be on Thursday or Friday, because today, not too long ago, earlier today, there was of course, everyone's Twitter and shit, but that's what happens is a guy Twittered here and said that the PS5 controller will cost $59.99 a controller. And so it's from Iron Man, and it's Iron Man PS5, and he says DualSense will be sold separately on November 20th, 2020 and will be available in North America, Canada, Europe, and the United Kingdom at a recommended retail price, an RRP, of US $59.99, Canadian $59.99, Euro $59.99, and pounds $59.99. I know I said it kind of ass backwards, but you get what I'm saying. And yes, the controller still looks like shit, and it's ugly, in my opinion.
I prefer the black version.
You know, maybe if you're into Star Wars and the troopers, what are they called? The white, what are they called? I'm not. You can tell I'm not. Stormtroopers. You can tell I'm not a Star Wars nerd, but you could see the stormtroopers effect in that, I guess. But it's too much like an iPhone. That's white and black is theirs. But anyway, fuck. That's coming out $60 fucking dollars. It keeps going up. It's crazy. And you know, when they release the PS5, it's gonna have one controller, one game, and the PS5. And rumor has it that they're gonna take a loss and it's gonna be $500.
Huh.
That's a rumor. $500.
So, off of the PlayStation 4, right now, Epic Game Stores were down today because apparently they were down for hours because everyone was trying to get Grand Theft Auto 5 for free.
Yep.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is a big thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised it's on Epic Game Stores.
Yeah. You know what else was down today?
What?
YouTube. Not for very long.
Really?
But it was down for a little bit today. So
how come?
I haven't found out why yet, but it was scary because I have a couple YouTube channels that I post content and shit to. You know, obviously more is less. You're at one of them, and I went there to this one, and it was like no videos. I'm like, no videos.
Oh,
No fucking videos. Where'd the videos go?
You mean on the channel?
Yeah, I was gone.
Oh.
I'm like, what the fuck? So then I went into the creator studio. Probably going too deep with you guys on YouTube, but I went into the creator studio to see the videos. The videos were there, but then it had exclamations on the public and private saying, not available.
That's weird.
And I'm like, oh fuck. Because we've put a lot of time and effort into all these videos.
Yeah.
And I realize they're not our videos, and YouTube can do what they want when they want, but still, when your heart does drop when you fucking see that shit.
Yeah, content creators will understand why.
Yeah, if you're a content creator, you will. It was up within 15 minutes. Shit happens, man, you know. As good as that shit runs, I'm surprised it don't break down more, to be honest.
Well, the person who owns YouTube right now, the CEO of YouTube right now, is a female, so I don't know.
I'm not sure if I like that. Not because she's a female. It's just, I think that they get to be too sensitive a lot of times and want to censor too much.
Yeah, like they did with a lot of content creators, not getting them paid because demonetization when they cuss.
Well, it pisses. We gonna rant about YouTube now? What pisses me off about YouTube is their algorithms will determine whether your video is made for kids or not, and if they determine that it's not made for kids, they'll fucking change it to you from public to not made for kids without you doing. You can't do shit about it. You can petition, but who you petitioning to?
The people who are making the videos.
I made the video.
Yeah. Because
can't petition myself. I had to petition to YouTube.
No, the reason why people have petitions is because content creators who make YouTube videos usually get paid by YouTube.
Not unless you have a lot of viewers.
That too, but
and we don't have a lot of viewers yet.
I know that, but right now, that's why everyone has a petition right now because they're not getting money because they all get demonetized.
They are getting all demonetized.
So anyways,
go ahead.
Off of YouTube right now.
Right on. Let's move on. Let's get this show on the road.
Cyberpunk.
Oh, you guys seen the YouTube demo on that? It's long. Be patient, but my God, right?
Yeah. Huh.
We watched it yesterday, the other night, and
Apparently, it said it was released in August in 2018, 2 years ago.
wow. So he thought it was coming out soon.
Well,
Turns out
they delayed it. It was supposed to come out. It was supposed to come out this year, and they probably delayed it.
it was supposed to come out in
20. They delayed.
No, you're saying it originally come out in 20 what? 19?
18.
2018?
Yeah.
It did come out?
No, it was
Supposed to come out in 2018 and it hasn't come out yet?
No,
Help me out.
They revealed it in 2018. The due date was supposed to be the game was released supposed to be in April 2020.
Oh.
But they delayed it for
Got it.
how many months?
Got it.
So
Man, that's a long time.
Yeah. So, me and my dad watched this.
We did. You know what? If you guys enjoy what we're doing, we could actually review some of those kind of demos and post as well. And so let us know what you think in the comments. But go ahead on that.
So we watched this 28-minute video. Really
28. It was 50 minutes.
Oh, 48.
Oh well. Okay, I was off by 2.
Anyways, this 48-minute video shows the gameplay of the Cyberpunk. Really, really good. It's a role playing. You have a lot of different. There'll probably be. We don't know if this is gonna be multiplayer or single player, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna be single player. I'll be surprised if this is multiplayer.
Yeah.
And what else? Oh yeah, we saw the Cyberpunk 2077 is almost a mix of Fallout and
Grand Theft Auto
Grand
and
Theft Auto because you can drive vehicles.
yeah. It's
It's like more Fallout because there's a big story behind it.
Right. Yeah.
GTA.
Yep. Definitely. And it's a first-person shooter RPG. So if you can wrap your head around that, but that's basically kind of what it is. So, but anyway, if you get a chance to watch it, I don't know if you can get through all of it like we did, but it's really interesting. The other thing that's interesting about the Cyberpunk game, a couple things, is you make decisions. You pick character. I mean, I know all RPGs are this way to some degree, but the decisions that you make throughout the game will determine what the outcome of what your final destiny is. And you can choose different ways. You can be a stealthy kind of person where you're a hacker and you hack into shit and hide. You can be a muscular guy where you're fucking real gung ho and shit. So there's different characters that you can be, and it's pretty badass. Now, were the graphics top notch? No, not in the demo, but they kept saying this isn't the final release, and I get that. They're tweaking. But I can tell you that it'll be a game worth getting for sure.
Yeah, it is a game worth getting. We're probably going to get it too.
Yeah, definitely. What we got next?
We'll talk about the new PlayStation 5 gameplay demo.
If you haven't seen that, I thought we talked about it and I posted it last week.
It came out today. It came out yesterday.
My bad. Go ahead, talk about it.
Apparently, the shadows are real. Like they talk. This is by Epic Games who did this little demo. It looked really well. It looked really, really good. The shadows are really nice, and what was it about? It was like something to do with triangles.
They do they have ray tracing, but what makes the Unreal Engine different than the others is they can use cinematic videography from that instead of artistic, which means they can take real rocks and real scenes and then use the ray tracing, and they use triangles to actually produce the rocks and the resolution, and it looks freaking real.
Yes.
Real. And the other Should I keep going? Or are you ready?
Yeah, you can keep going.
Okay, and the other thing that's really cool about this Unreal Engine is, and they had fancy names for it, but basically, the reflectivity of the light. So they were showing an image where you're running down the kind of like Tomb Raider, whatever, or later Raiders of the Lost Ark, but running down a cave, and then there's this opening where the light's shining through. And you can see the rays of the light and shit, and that's pretty cool. But you also see the reflections and shit, And in the video, they go, this is what it looks like with ray tracing, and then they shut it off. And there's all kinds of black shit everywhere, like where you can't, no detail. Dark, that's what I'm saying. Dark areas where there was detail, it's too dark and you can't see anything. And they said, well, what? And the other thing that's really cool about it, and this is good for designers or programmers, is it will do the reflectivity automatically. So the light's shining down like this and it's reflecting. They move the light like this and the reflectivity moves automatically. And it looks very real.
Yeah, it does look really real.
Unreal
from this video.
Unreal's been around for a long time. They're OGs, man. They're goats.
So for the PlayStation 5, we know what the specs are. We saw the gameplay, how the PlayStation 5 will handle. Now we gotta know what it fucking looks like.
Yes. Yep. And Unreal's been around for a long time. Unreal Tournament, check that shit. Google that shit if you ain't heard about that. They've been around for a long time. But yeah, we're waiting on what's it actually look like. We're gonna find out maybe next month, they said.
Yep. So that's all gaming news I have for today.
All right. Time to go into sports, and we'll give that to Tyler.
So apparently, UFC had there was a fight last Saturday. Was it called UFC 249?
Nope, UFC Fight Night. Oh no, last Saturday it was 249, and then we had Fight Night, literally 2 nights ago. Last night?
Yesterday.
Yeah, last night.
Last night. So
three fights in 1 week, guys. If you're fucking jonesing for some good sports, check out the UFC.
What's your opinion about UFC 249? What was something that shook you, or what was very good about the lineup?
I thought that Justin Gaethje showed why he deserved to be where he's at. He's a real fucking deal. And Tony Ferguson's a real fucking deal. But he took care of Tony Ferguson, and knocked his ass out. TKO. So
I also heard that Conor McGregor was talking shit to Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, he'd like to fight him. I don't know why I don't want to go after Justin, because he's definitely, better, higher up in the rankings and shit. And then we had bantamweight which was a co-main, and that was Henry Judo against Dominic Cruz. And what's interesting about this fight is Justin Gaethje. Now, I'm a UFC man. I'm a fucking fanboy. I ain't a fanboy on too much.
You watched it since the very first one.
Fucking number one. Been watching it since number one. 1994, whenever the fuck it came out. Videotape. Went to the video store. Didn't watch it live. Didn't have money for pay-per-view. Didn't have cable, because I was a poor student. But went to the video store, grabbed the first one, and was like, what the fuck is this? Looked at that and like, I gotta watch this. Tank Abbott, Hoist Gracie. Fuck yeah. Anyway, been around for a while. So, Justin Gaethje and Henry Judo, sorry if I'm misspelling your name, bud. They were on one of the Ultimate Fighters, and they were coaches against each other. So they fought each other before. Now Justin they both gotten better, obviously. It's been a while. I mean, you can look at their records, you can tell. Henry's lost 2, Justin's lost 2, okay? So they're definitely good. And they both won their fights. Dominic Cruz, God bless you. You just were outclassed on that night, and you're a badass too. So, but that tells you how good Henry is to beat you, Dominic. And then we had Francis Ngannou against Jahuzo Raznashuk, and that was a quick one too. 20 seconds.
That was a heavyweight, right?
Yep. 20 seconds, and Nagumo's been around fucking block. He's been there for a while, and he showed the kid what was up, man. knocked him the fuck out.
So let's go on to the one that happened Wednesday.
Let's do that.
UFC Fight Night with Smith versus Texture.
You know what?
Jesus
In other, if it wasn't for the corona and all this bullshit, this could have been another pay-per-view event. I'm not joking. The fucking preliminary, some of them, then the preliminaries was fucking worth. I mean, the preliminary card, you know, you got good people. You got really good fighters, you know. Sarah Moras against Sarah Eubanks. I can't say her name. So she fucking fought hard now.
Oh, they're talking about the
preliminary, yeah. But the main card was badass now.
Yeah, it was.
We had a lot of good fights leading up to the main event. Glover Teixeira, and he won the fight. We had St. Pro against Ben Rothwell. God bless Ben Rothwell, man. He come back and he just fucking...
He won by a split decision.
He did, very, very close. But he's got the stamina, you know, for a heavyweight. He did good. And he's not a youngin'. So, I thought that was pretty good. Thought that was real good. And then we had Hernandez against Dober. Dober won that with the TKO. And Simon against Borg. And resistance wasn't futile on that one. Because Simon, Guy and God, Simone. I always say that wrong. Simone. He's a badass. We had Arvlosky. Man, has he been around the block. You know who he is. Against Philippi Limbs. Lenz. Arvlosky beat him. Decision. We got Michael Johnson. He's been around the block. Thiago Moises.
By submission.
Yep. Choked his ass out. It's pretty good. And then we had the last one was Carl Robertson against
that was canceled.
Marvin Vetri. And I was about to say that. But that's okay. He said it for me.
Yeah, it got canceled.
Right. So, that's pretty much all I got for sports, because there ain't a lot of sports going on, to be honest. Tiger and Phil Mickelson is going to have an event in the end of May here. I don't know, 20-something. You can look it up, Google that shit. But they're going to be playing golf, a pro celeb event. And I don't know who's going to be paired up, but it's going to be Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. So we'll have doubles. Definitely watching that. If you're a golf guy like I am, you're definitely going to watch that. Fuck yeah. Anyway, what else we got for sports? You got anything else?
Nope. I don't.
Take my last drink of my tomato juice. And I guess we'll call it a night.
Okay.
It's been fun. Probably went longer than we should. I think everything went well, though.
Yeah.
Please subscribe, like, comment, tell a buddy. Please tell a buddy. Tell a friend, you know. Let them say, hey, you know, you can always fast forward through the slow shit if you don't like, but, you know, we're trying to make it entertaining, and fuck, what else you got to do? You're watching fucking people talk about other shit like Reddit shit and everything. Come here and watch this. Why not? Right? Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. We're gonna call it a night. I'm Todd Moore.
This is Tyler Moore.
This is the More is Less podcast show, where you get more news
in less time.
Have a good night. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.